The team working to save the Parkland school shooter's life, delivering their opening statements in the penalty phase of the Parkland shooter's trial.
The lead defense attorney sharing more about his background, his childhood today. Local 10's Christina Vasquez has more from the courtroom.
We have all seen and heard things that no one should have to see or hear.
Lead defense attorney Melisa McNeill.
Things that will haunt us forever.
Told jurors in her opening statement she is not here to defend the Parkland shooter.
In telling you Nick's story,
but share aspects of his background for them to consider.
we will give you reasons for life.
And woven into his story.
You see, Nicholas would yell in class.
Of a struggle with anxiety and aggression.
He would bite, he would spit, he would kick, he would punch, he would pounce.
Intellectual and developmental delays is a tale of two moms. His drug-addicted biological mom, Brenda Woodard.
She was drinking, she was drugging.
Who the defense said poisoned him while in the womb.
He was brain damaged. Fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, and it has lifetime implications.
And his adopted mother, Linda Cruz.
The train was off the track.
Who McNeill suggested was inept at managing him.
Would stop the medication sometimes, it was too expensive. Linda Cruz bought him an airsoft rifle.
Punctuating her opening statement with Carolyn Deakins, a plain-spoken, fast-talking, colorful character who said Brenda.
Drinking and getting high.
The shooter's biological mom.
Mostly crack and snorting cocaine.
Was turning tricks and doing drugs while pregnant.
I thought, oh my God, babies. It's hard on them. She didn't care.
An Irish poet, John O'Donoghue, once said, "The beginning often holds the clue to everything that follows." And that couldn't be more true in the case of Nicholas Cruz.
And I just stepped out of the courtroom in order to join you because I was sitting in the courtroom listening to the defense witness you see right here. So this is Danielle Woodard. This is the biological half-sister of the Parkland shooter. So they share the mom, Brenda. And she is telling jurors really a gut-wrenching story of having a mom who she said witnessed doing drugs and drinking while Nicholas Cruz, which would be her half-brother, was in the womb. And she actually, the terminology she's been using here and telling jurors is that Nicholas Cruz was in her mom's, quote, polluted womb. And she really starts breaking down in tears. Occasionally she'll look over to her half brother as she was just right now was recounting the moment that he is born, and she's holding on to him and realizes that he is being given up for adoption. But she also expressed some details that again align with what the defense is working to do here. Remember, they are trying to put forth evidence to these jurors for them to consider that you would have at least, for the defense needs, at least one juror to be receptive and open to what they're hearing and say that life is the appropriate punishment, right? Not death. And so part of this is what you heard there in that piece where they're presenting this idea that he had this brain damage, that from the get-go, the second he was born, he had all of these intellectual and developmental delays, and now they have his half-sister. She was going into 6th grade at the time, recounting being in an apartment that we learned from prior testimony that the then adoptive parents, Linda and Roger Cruz, are paying for. She would walk the streets of Las Olas here in Fort Lauderdale along the river to get out of the house because she just said minutes ago there were, quote, junkies in that home that the mom apparently would rent by the hour to also do crack cocaine. So now you have two elements here, right? She apparently was consuming drugs while she was pregnant with Nicholas Cruz, also surrounded by people who were doing drugs with Nicholas Cruz. All of this working to really speak to what the defense just presented to the jurors in that kind of setting up the issues opening statement of the kinds of evidence that they want them to consider about his background and his childbirth, starting from the second he is in the womb. And I have to tell you, it's interesting to watch, watch her looking at him, watch her kind of break down as she recounts her own sort of traumatic life experience. She even said she was it was a summer before going into 6th grade. Her mom, Brenda, who she never refers to as mom, she says her name Brenda, would have her urinate in a cup so that she could pass drug tests as she was going through the adoptive process. So I'm going to then go back into the courtroom, hear what else she has to say, and bring it to you coming up in an hour. Local 10 News at 4. Reporting live for you, I'm Christina Vasquez, Local 10 News.
All right, Christina, thank you for that.